Welcome to Newsroom Series. I'm Olumide Macaulay. This is where we walk you through the goings-on news speaking across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Today, our focus is the Southwest region. But first, our top stories. Former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has officially registered as a member of the African Democratic Congress in Adamawa State, signaling a major development in Nigeria's opposition politics ahead of the 2027 general elections. The registration took place on Monday, following Mr. Atiku's announcement to ADC supporters and stakeholders in Adamawa over the weekend. Now, an aide to the former president, Abdul Rashid, had confirmed the development in a statement. This move formalizes Mr. Atiku Abubakar's association with the coalition party, which he had previously endorsed in July as a platform for opposition figures, including Mr. Peter Obi and Babashir Lawal, to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the trial of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Adwohan for alleged cybercrime until February the 4th, 2026 for commencement of trial. The matter, which was fixed for Monday by Justice Mohammed Umar, could not proceed due to the judge's absence. The matter also did not hold on October the 21st due to the protest organized by Mr. Omoyele Sowore to demand the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who was recently convicted on terrorism offenses. Justice Umar had on September 22nd fixed October the 21st for the hearing after the trial was stalled owing to an objection raised by the defendant. Now, Mrs. Akpoti-Adwohan was arraigned on June the 30th on a 6-count charge filed by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Mohammed Abubakar. She was granted bail, following which Justice Umar adjourned till September 22nd for the commencement of trial. However, the defense lawyer raised an objection on the last adjourned date when the prosecuting counsel, David Kaswe, was about to open his case by calling the first witness. Mrs. Akpoti-Adwohan is alleged to have transmitted false and injurious information via electronic means with the intention to malign, incite, and endanger lives and breach public order. Now, in the Southwest region, the Ogun State government, under the special agro-industrial processing zones, I should say, has officially inaugurated a multi-stakeholder agri-business forum towards increased productivity, creating and reduction in rural poverty. The forum is designed to strengthen private sector participation across the agricultural value chain, enhance the sustainability of agribusiness operations, and foster an enabling policy environment for agribusiness growth in the state. The government says that this is part of the commitment to agricultural transformation, food security, especially in crops, where it has comparative advantage for sustainable growth and development.
Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, is an agrarian state, well endowed with about 1.2 million hectares of land, 74% of the state land area arable for farming. This no doubt accounted for food production in the state.
Agribusiness stakeholders forum.
To maximally utilize this fertile land, this forum, made up of researchers, government officials, small and large-holder farmers, among others, are working together to provide a structured platform for dialogue, coordination and collaboration to cultivate cassava, maize, rice, palm, timber and cocoa cultivation, where the state has comparative advantage.
SAP's program is positioned to leverage the state's rich agricultural potentials to create sustainable value chain that will empower our farmers, youth and women while attracting long-term private investments. This forum will bring together various sectors involved in the agricultural value chain, such as farmers, financial institutions, government agencies, and development partners to collaborate on improving the agricultural sector in Ogun State.
The forum identifies climate change, insufficient extension officers, fluctuation in prices of agricultural produce, and security as some of the challenges farmers contend with.
Climate change is also a big challenge because now it's harder to predict rainy season as well as the volume of rain that's going to be received. So that really affects the output at the end of the day, which the farmers are complaining about. So that also, in a way, is tied to price fluctuation, the next challenge, so that you don't know how much the prices of things are going to be, again, due to maybe harvest, the output. So I'm finally tying that to our recommendations.
Speaking on the sidelines of the inauguration, chairman of the Multi-Stakeholders Forum, Lutayo Lushola, demands a strong policy framework towards reducing cost of agricultural production.
Our economy is actually based on farming, agriculture generally. We are mainly an agrarian community. So while we're discussing this, I want us to have that at the back of our minds and think of what exactly we can encourage these smallholder farmers to produce that will, at the end of the day, ensure that the value chain is also productive and will also put money in their pocket.
I want to partner with the government for the price of food to go down. However, what about the price of the inputs? For goodness sake, fertilizer, the seed. What can the government do to crash it so that we can also crash the prices of food? So we want the prices of inputs to be crashed, and we also want the government to provide for us arable land that can be tractorized. Most of the time we are the one that deforest our farms before we can plant, and the cost is so high.
The state government says it has supported 3,000 farmers with about 5.4 billion naira worth of agriculture inputs through the Ogun NCARES project, while it's nurtured about 8,800 smallholder farmers and 40,000 others through the Anchor Borrowers Scheme.
The Oyo State health sector is undergoing some renewal, starting with the upgrade of primary health centers across the 33 local government areas. 66 PHCs, 2 from each local government area, have been selected as prototypes for an upgrade to Category 3 in the ongoing first phase. Having supplied equipment and consumables with capacity building for the workers, the latest step is boosting seamless communication and networking amongst them. To this end, new mobile phones and directories have been distributed to the selected 66 PHCs. Our Ibadan correspondent, Bukola Arewo, reports.
One of the key areas of focus of the Oyo State government in its transformative drive is the health sector. Much has been done in the past, but the results of past investments seem inadequate, hardly translating to appreciable growth. Currently, Governor Seyi Makinde says his focus on transforming the health sector to improve access and affordability for all who needs quality health care remains sacrosanct. Having trained PHC workers in keeping electronic records in the selected 66 PHCs drawn from 33 local government areas, the next step is empowering them with communication gadgets and other enablers for smooth operations.
This will go a long way to help them in terms of communication, in terms of exchanging ideas, so that when something is happening somewhere, the other party can know about it, and with that, there can be a meaningful collaboration so as to put an end to whatsoever, epidemics that may actually be going on in the state.
The aim is to strengthen service delivery and enhance disease surveillance at the community level.
I have no doubt within me that this will go a long way to help our health system, especially in terms of communication and also in terms of relating with ourselves.
Primary health care carries a lot of weight as a first point of contact for most people, a reason why ensuring reliable communication is essential for effective health care and improved network links.
This telephone is to allow the various species to communicate one with another, and it allows them for about 3 to 4 calls at a time, so they can have a conference call. But beyond that, it also provides an opportunity for disease surveillance, because if we have a problem somewhere, in a particular local government, then they can quickly talk to each other, and then they can report to the appropriate authorities.
Some of the health workers speak on the critical nature of this innovation.
With this phone, we can call the health facility to know what is going on, and if there is any information that we want to pass to another health facility or the health GA or the state or another level, it will be very easy for me. There's nothing like there is no air time or no data or nothing, so everything is okay, and there is solar for us to charge it.
It is useful for us to communicate with facility that we are under update health. So if there is any trend or any emergence of any disease being a communicable one, so it enables us to communicate with each other and to communicate to the higher level.
The 66 facilities now operate on a 10 kV solar inverter system to provide uninterrupted power and water supply, and equipped with a red brick incinerator for safe waste disposal, all intended to reduce persistent operational challenges noticed before the upgrade. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
Also in Oyo State, residents of Owode Housing Estate Phase 2 have called on the government to help the community get away from incessant attacks from hoodlums. They made the call while speaking with newsmen during a fact-finding mission by the Oyo State Housing Corporation following an SOS by residents of the community under Ido local government area of the state. The chairman of Oyo State Housing Corporation, Demola Motoshaw, told newsmen that the government would take decisive steps to safeguard lives and property in the state, and called on those yet to develop their land within the estate to expedite action on developing such land or face revocation of such property.
Owode Housing Estate Phase 2, Akpata, Ibadan, is under Ido local government area of the state and has been in existence for more than 5 decades. Recently, there have been cries for help from residents on the deteriorating security situation within the estate. Residents claim that there are lots of undeveloped plots of land hosting miscreants who compromise the security of lives and property in the area.
The problem of this place is people don't even care much. People care for themselves, not for the people. And the government has good intention establishing a place like this for civil servants. I was going to enter for my HND in 1976 when I got phone for this place. I was working at the federal then NCRI. I got admission to go at this HND at Greek. So I got the form and I came back, I won the house without knowing anybody. It's not good for all of us, but some people now go there and start destroying it.
Those who are not ready, we are not saying that you, no, once they take the one they are not ready to develop, they'll give them another plots in other areas to allow people who are ready to develop. And again, we didn't have any security, feasible on ground. At night, we always sleep, have one eye open, one eye closed, because anything can happen. So we want the government to please give us a kind of a permanent security.
Conducting newsmen around the huge expanse of undeveloped property within the estate, the Housing Corporation
You're watching Newsroom series. Coming up, the authorities in Lagos State raise an alarm over the discharge of untreated sewage water into the streets. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The General Manager of the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office, Adefemi Afolabi, has raised concern over the growing discharge of untreated sewage into streets and drainage by some residents in the state. Mr. Afolabi, who spoke during a stakeholders forum on wastewater and fecal sludge management, says there's an increasing and alarming rate of people discharging and disposing untreated sewage of this nature into the environment. He says such acts will not be tolerated and anyone caught will face the law.
Experts in the environment sector, senior government officials from the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, representatives from the State Assembly, and other concerned groups converge on the Nigerian-British Chamber of Commerce, Lekki, for the Wastewater and Fecal Sludge Management Stakeholders Forum. Lagos State Wastewater Management Office have brought them together to deliberate on how to keep Lagos clean and reduce indiscriminate discharge of wastewater.
Lagos, as we all know, is a high water table environment. This area that we even occupy, where we are standing today, it is said to be below the sea level. For you to have a septic tank in this area, is really you have to precast before you can have such. And your precasting, where it is not done by professionals, it's like you are just open defecating as well. So as such, that is why this type of program is being taken to us, so that we can feel the reality.
Effective management of wastewater and fecal sludge is not just a technical responsibility, it is a public health priority and a crucial step towards securing a safer future for our communities. Together, we can transform the challenges of wastewater and fecal sludge management into opportunities for sustainable development and improved quality of life for all.
Government says environmental hygiene is paramount and that people must desist from polluting the metropolis with wastewater discharge.
Lagos Water Corporation recognizes the importance of effective wastewater management. Our goal is to ensure that Lagos State has a robust and sustainable wastewater management system that protects public health and the environment.
Effective wastewater and fecal sludge management is therefore not only a matter of sanitation. It is essential to safeguarding our water bodies, enhancing resilience, and building a healthier future for our next generations.
The General Manager of the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office urges stakeholders to prevent outbreak of diseases.
This forum is very significant in the life of the agency and, of course, in the state. We have brought this sensitization program to the island so that we can really discuss with our stakeholders, the community members, consultants, operators of sewage and fecal sludge management. And the theme for this year's forum is strengthening partnerships for sustainable sewage and wastewater fecal sludge management in Lagos State. In this regard, we aim to achieve that our stakeholders who work from time to time in the wastewater space will do the needful and to also help to reduce the pollution of our groundwater and surface water in the state.
Some of those in attendance applaud government for engaging citizens on indiscriminate wastewater discharge.
I am just imploring the management of this agency and Lagos State government at large to ensure that it's not just about starting. Continuity and sustenance is very key.
I would like to advise that there is need for government to always carry along the stakeholders when a policy is being formulated so that it will be all-inclusive.
The state government says it will intensify crackdown on violators of environmental laws to ensure that Lagos is clean and safe for all residents.
To politics, the National Secretary of the APC, Senator Ajibola Bashir, has finally withdrawn from the Ogun 2026 governorship race. The APC scribe says the decision for withdrawal became imperative due to the enormous responsibility of his office as APC National Secretary and the need to concentrate on his party's preparation for the 2027 presidential election. He also clarified that the decision does not signify withdrawal from APC's shared progressive vision, and also urges members known as Al-Baraka movement to continue to sustain their commitment to the growth and success of the party. His decision is coming less than 3 weeks to the APC governorship primary elections, which is slated to hold on the 13th of December.
Consider the enormous responsibilities of my current office as National Secretary of our great party, and after due consultations with our esteemed leaders and stakeholders, particularly the leader of our party nationally and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it has become necessary to publicly and emphatically state that I, Dr. Surajuddin Ajibola Bashiru, shall not be contesting the 2026 Osun State governorship election in Osun State. The demands of national assignments, particularly the imperative of strengthening our party structures and the responsibilities of preparing the future for our party in the 2027 general election, require by unwavering commitment to the unity, success, and stability of our party at all levels. Since the outcomes of the 2022 gubernatorial election and the 2023 national and state assembly elections, it has remained the unshakable resolve of the All Progressive Congress in Osun State to reclaim our mandate democratically from the PDP-led maladministration and reposition our dear state on the path of peace, progress, and sustainable development.
Meanwhile, the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State, Mr. Wole Oluyede, has described the recent PDP primary, where he emerged as flag bearer, as one of the most peaceful and credible ever conducted in the state. Speaking in Adeokiti, the state capital, he downplayed the internal rifts currently rocking the party, insisting that disagreements are a natural part of democratic organizations and pose no threat to the PDP's resolve to reclaim Ekiti in the 2026 governorship election. He expressed strong confidence in the party's preparedness, commending the conduct of the primary, which he says defied challenges and exceeded expectations. He reaffirmed that the PDP is united and poised for victory. Nigeria has one of the highest rates of deaths by road traffic crashes compared to other nations of the world, according to statistics from the United Nations. In Sweden, only one person is anticipated to die with 10,000 vehicles on the road at a specific time, while the figure in Nigeria stands at 161. The sector commander of the FRSC, Dr. Samuel Ibitoye, made this known during a stakeholder event in Owo, Ondo State. Speakers at the event withdrew participation of various stakeholders in road transportation, appealed to Nigerians to take responsibility for their safety and stop distracted driving.
Driving is a very thick job. It's a tasking job that demands your brain. You'll be thinking every time. Thinking about the operation of the vehicle, thinking about the people who are driving around you, or the road environment, or the road condition itself. Where do I go? Where is my tire? Where does it go? This and that. You'll be thinking, tasking your brain. So you do not need to be distracted in your cognition. It must be intact and must focus driving. We had 5,421 people that died in crash. That's 2024. 5,421 people died 2024. And how many people are injured? We had 31,154 people injured, sustaining various forms of injuries in 2024. It's a very massive statistics, very massive one that we don't need to allow it to continue.
Finally, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has called for the strengthening of the town and gown to boost the nation's security network, national rebirth, as well as nation building. While giving his keynote address at the 3rd edition of the Lagos State University of Education Security Summit in Lagos, he says the town-gown partnership, as it's called, must no longer be viewed as a conversation between the police and universities, but one that must cut across all sectors of society.
It's the 3rd edition of the Lagos State University of Education Security Summit. This edition, with the theme Strengthening the Partnership Between the Town and Gown in the Age of Insecurity, draws the attention of academics, traditional rulers, community leaders, policy shapers, and students. The keynote speaker is Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun, and he arrives in company of senior officers within the zone. The Vice-Chancellor of the university emphasizes that education remains the most powerful security strategy.
A university is not an island. Our people live, commute, volunteer, trade, worship and celebrate beyond our gates. Ideas, goods, people move between campuses and community every hour of the day. And when insecurity interrupts that movement, the social fabric frays and development stalls. Education is the most powerful security challenge and strategy. The conviction that animates this university is also security. It equips minds to resist manipulation, hands to build livelihood, and hearts to choose peace.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Atiku, highlights that the town-gown partnership must no longer be viewed as a conversation between the police and the universities alone.
When the teacher and the officer work together, crime loses shelter. When ideas and enforcement work together, peace begins to take shape. The town-gown partnership must no longer be viewed as a conversation between the police and the universities alone. It must evolve into a national doctrine of collaboration.
The IGP also calls for the strengthening of the town and gown to boost security network, national rebirth, as well as nation building.
For too long, the classroom and the community have worked in parallel lines, learning separately, serving separately. It is time to bridge that divide. The police safeguard the streets, the university safeguards the nation's intellect. The police know what happens, the scholar knows why it happens. The solution to national security lies somewhere between the what and the why. When these two realms merge, the practical wisdom of the town and the intellectual capital of the gown, a nation moves from reaction to prediction.
As the summit comes to a close, discussions on how to develop research tools within the walls of institutions which will assist in redirecting operations of security agencies are tackling insecurity across the country.
And that's it on Newsroom series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide McCall.